Happy clickers.
If you were to be a happy clicker in an office of your choice somewhere. Now, I don't even remember. I think maybe, I don't know. Did I find this or do you find you took the
found
bait.
it.
You took the bait and like you were you were all over this. So yes.
Should I tell people where we're at, or do we just? Let's talk about this. Well, what you want? Oh, that's a little Beastie Boys, just in case anybody couldn't interpret that. Anyway, so we've all been faced with, not all of us, but a lot of us have been faced with the challenge of working from home during COVID. Some of you are already working remotely, like myself, like Keith, who we've been. I would say that Keith and I are well-seasoned remote workers. We know how to get it done. It has its challenges on a number of levels. It can affect the psyche. If you're not getting up and taking breaks and going outside.
I got a message that my flash is out of date. Should I click that?
That would be a no.
I hate to say I told you so.
All right. Anyway.
Right. So Keith and I actually did a couple of podcast segments on how to work remotely, working from home, and that sort of stuff, and how to deal with it. And this is really cool. Now, granted, this is a concept, but great ideas are born from those concepts, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to see some version of this out there at some point. But Nissan, and again, we're talking about Nissan again.
Hey,
Nissan's been in the movement.
Do you consider them an Asian company?
Yeah, I do. They are.
I mean, that's their roots, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was Datsun, Nissan.
I still consider them an Asian,
I think so, even though they're rooted in the state of Tennessee now with their North American headquarters.
Yeah, right. But so here's why I ask that, because what we typically see in trying times from the Asian auto manufacturers like Honda, like Toyota, to give you a couple of examples, and I saw this heavily on the Honda motorcycle side during the 2008 recession. Acura was another one. Yeah. They tend to shut down R&D. They pull way back and tighten the belt on their R&D budget. And Nissan they're in trouble. They've had some trying times lately, okay? It's no secret, okay?
Right.
A lot of times what happens when an auto manufacturer gets in trouble is they shelter and they stop R&D, or they severely cut the budget. It is very nice to see them backed into a corner here and just doing what they can to see, let's keep trying, let's push innovation forward, right?
Let's do something. And we talked about it. We had a podcast on it. We did a little video segment over on youtube.com/Parts Counter Gurus. If you're interested in going there, just subscribe while you're there if you don't mind. But they started out the flurry of activity with the Nissan Proto Z. And then now we just recently talked about the Pathfinder that's going to be out. What was it we just podcasted? It was another vehicle that...
the Frontier.
The Frontier, the redesigned Frontier,
and then the
Pathfinder.
Z. And that actually is out now. If you are unfamiliar with how to get to our full podcast, go to our website at partscounterguru.com or partscountergurus with an S.com. Both take you to the same place. We own them both. And then click on the podcast links at the top, and it'll take you to whatever you use, wherever fine podcasts are given away for free, whatever your platform of choice, you will find us there.
Absolutely. And we've been saying, Nissan, where are you at? And what are you doing? And so they rolled out this Nissan Next. This was their mantra. New mantra is Nissan Next. So we are seeing signs of that. There's some innovation coming out of, they're backing it up.
I can bet you, Jay, I'm going to give you a second here to be prepared to talk about some of the specifics in this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So get your list ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
But I would bet you that even though this van as it is right now and their concept doesn't maybe make it to production, there will be elements of this that they will leverage for future vehicles, because there are some really cool components and aspects in it that I can see being very usable in some of their vehicle lineup. You know, not to mention the fact that everybody and their brother's out buying an RV or a camper right now. So
yeah, and when I saw this story, and that's what really grabbed me, was that, you know, they're looking at two sectors of our life, which are affected, and or there's a result from it. So if you haven't seen the story, what we're talking about is Nissan. If you I don't know if you've seen the NV350 vans. They're pretty cool. They're basically fleet style vans.
This doesn't look like that though. This looks more like a VW. It's camper van.
It's more rounded and aerodynamic looking. Whereas the NV350, if you're out on the highway today, it looks like just one big huge box with wheels, you know, like an Amazon van or something, you know.
Right.
Which, matter of fact, I think Amazon may use a few of those. But they've come up with this concept. It's what they call a office pod, and basically, when you check it out, you'll see some of the things that they put into this is pretty cool, but it can bleed over into the RV world as well. So and that's where what you said, Keith, initially, which is they're playing around with this, but there's a lot of things that can come out of this from the technologies that they're putting in here. So basically, it's a mobile office is all it is. It's an office pod. It's very ergonomic. It has a lot of interesting technological features in it.
It can slide out the whole office unit itself. Can slide out the back of the van.
For open air.
It has, you can climb onto the roof and work up there. Yeah. Yep. I saw, did you see the whole UV sanitization?
I did, man. And again, so there's your COVID, you know, they're throwing a few COVID ties to this. And, you know, they're focusing on that fact that a lot of people are working from home now, but that need as a human to get out and, you know, and breathe fresh air or get some sunshine. You know, when we work in an office building, or if we work in an office or whatever, at least we have that at least once or twice a day where we actually get in a vehicle and we get to drive and see things. You know, end of the day, beginning of the day, listen to, you know, the Parts Counter Guru podcast or whatever, you know, on your way in or way home, whatever. But what this does for an individual or individuals is it gives you a little bit of mobility.
Yeah.
To be able to get out and kind of make your own space.
And think about, you know, there are people that need to conduct in-person sales on site, whether it's a, you know, t-shirt merch, like I need to see a t-shirt cannon added to this thing. You know, whatever, right? Like you have an office space to work from. If you need to conduct in-person business, that's an option. But like it's got a coffee maker, it's got some electric shades in it. I'm bet you could probably work out something to sleep in it if you needed to.
Oh, absolutely. And I see that working into, you know, maybe some of the other vehicles down the road that, you know, for privacy, say the back end of a Pathfinder or something. Say you're going to spend the night in your Pathfinder, you know, again, because more and more people are becoming nomadic, man. They're getting out of the house. There are going to be
elements of this concept that was premiered in Tokyo that will make it to their production vehicles. I guarantee it.
And it does. It says it has everything you need. So let me just. So it's got like we said, the rear hatch pops up and it has a slide out feature. Okay, and when it slides out, and we'll probably there's a video that
just go to partscounterguru.com, click on the mentioned on the podcast tab, and we'll put a link to this episode.
Yeah, it's pretty neat pretty neat. But it's got a workstation, computer. You've got inverters in it. Now, here's what's cool, right? So could this whole Starlink thing be the timing of this and Starlink?
Yeah, so, it depends on how you want to get your internet. You know, cellular delivery is the popular way today, you know, meaning like you're using the data plan on your, you know, cell service or whatever. But if you have, Jay's talking about Starlink is Elon Musk's satellite internet or as I like to call it, internet from space, which potentially you could integrate with something like this. And just like satellite radio, works anywhere as long as you have a clear view of the sky.
Anywhere you're at, you can use this stuff. So this makes it so much easier. I mean, if you've got this type of vehicle for that, look, if I'm still working from home and this thing actually comes on the market and I actually need to work from home still, I'm hoping that, maybe I'm just flying around the country going to shows and we're just doing shows.
This is an interesting component of the world we live in today, meaning, post-COVID or in the midst of COVID, I guess.
Right.
Let's say you're interviewing for a job and, the requirement is work from home.
Right.
Well, how many people, and I know this is happening a lot. Look at the RV sales in the past 12 months.
Skyrocketing.
Where they are, finger quotes here, working from home, right? But where is home, right? And does that employer, you have to think about it like this, can they require you to be in a certain city, or does that need to be discussed in the job interview, or can you just get a product like this and go drive it out wherever you want, and next week you're in Florida and the week after that you're in New Mexico? I mean, is it?
You remember what I said? The last absolutely was the last podcast that we did and that we put out, and I kept saying about you feel the electricity like in the air, and it was kind of a play on words, but you're seeing all this EV activity, this change in technology, but you're seeing other industries that are related to the automotive world that are going, oh, wait a minute. Like, for example, Airstream with their EV Assist that they're committed to now. Now you have Nissan with this this office pod that carries you out on the road. I am seeing more and more ads on TV or on pop up in my browser when I'm researching stuff about RVs, and they're coming right out and saying, hey, working from home, why stay in your hometown? Go to such and such park and camp out here with us with all the amenities of working from home. Hotels are changing. I mean, they already had the opportunity for computers and hookups and stuff like that, but they're refining those. I've read something of late how they're trying to really focus on that connectivity. Whereas, years past, you go to a hotel, the connectivity is horrible. Or if you go to an RV resort.
You can't count right. Yeah, we talked about that in our... So before we move away from this topic, I want to add a couple things here for those of you that are hanging with us. Jay doesn't even know this. Well, he knows one of them. So we attempted a few weeks back on the show I tried to sign up for Starlink and their website crashed, and I eventually was able to get my pre-order in, so I have that. Now it could take 6 months to 18 months before before delivery. But when I get it, we're going to play around with that, and I'm going to see what kind of a fit it is for an RV lifestyle. So stay subscribe. If you're not subscribed, the best way that you would know is ring the bell, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when that comes out. And also, in the interim, that's a big fancy word. It means in between now and then. Jay.
Yeah, I know that.
I have, and I've actually had this since Christmas, but the weather hasn't been conducive. I have the brand is King, if that matters, but it's made for RVs. It's a cell phone cellular amplifier system made for your RV. You can ladder mount it, you can roof mount it, but it's designed basically to help me work from my RV with an internet connection over the cellular network. And I'm going to go through and do a video on what it is, how I'm going to install it. We're going to review it. I'm going to take a look at how well it works. And I will have all of that in place before our summer trip.
Which we're excited about, and you guys should be too. And you need to stay hooked up with us because we got our 100th episode coming along soon, and we're stay tuned to that.
Hit the button, hit subscribe. If an RVer or you're thinking about it, I think this is going to be a good option. I'm pretty excited about it. Might have to drill a hole or two in the roof. Not excited about that, but we'll figure it out. You need to watch us show you how to do it, and just stay tuned for that.
We'll give you some word on it. So on closing note on this, and if you don't think that there's other intentions with this vehicle for Nissan, the concept is equipped with all-terrain tires and off-road capabilities.
That just
to
says
back it
to
up.
me,
So, RV.
Yes, this is not a pavement parking lot work.
Right.
No. This is
So there you have it. So good for Nissan, man. Something that's innovation, man. Right?
I agree.
That's innovation.
Yeah.
That's innovation.
Yeah.
So.